Hey, this is Mark Swartz with MTC Media here. Hey, the Philadelphia 76ers blew Game 7. After giving away Game 6, you kind of knew that there was going to be a potential blowout here when you blow a Game 6 at home. It's hard to go back on the road and win a Game 7. And we've seen this before back in, I think it was 87, when the Pistons gave away Game 6 in the or Game 5 in the Boston Garden. They won Game 6 at home, but could not win Game 7. You know, Game 5 was the game that they needed to win. And for the Sixers, we all knew that Game 6 was the game that they needed to win. And giving it away and having to go back to Boston, yeah, you kind of got what you got, right? But now it's who to blame. And you know there's going to be blame that's going to go around. It's the day after. Philadelphia fans were killing them not even 30 seconds after that game was over. And it has continued into the morning. And yes, Doc Rivers lost his 10th Game 7, easy target. Joel Embiid, who begged for the MVP, begged with no shame and ended up getting it. Oh my goodness. You talk about laying an egg for a guy who wanted to be the MVP that bad. Embiid did that. And yes, you can point your finger to Embiid. But boy, I have another one. Daryl Morey. And the reason why I say Daryl Morey is because he could have gotten so much more for Ben Simmons than what he did get. He wasted teams' time asking for 2 frontline players and like 4 and 5 draft picks like he asked from Sacramento, Toronto. He wanted 3 or 4 young stars plus picks. You were never getting that for Ben Simmons, and you knew it. And that showed you didn't want to trade Ben Simmons at the time because you wanted your own personal vendetta. And that's all Morey wanted. It was a personal vendetta. Oh, I'm going to punish you. I'm going to go after your money. We're not going to pay you. I'm going to show who's boss. And then you had the morons on social media applauding Daryl Morey for doing that, when Daryl Morey's job is to do what's best for the Sixers organization. It's not to personalize something and take it away from it being business and making it into something that you're going to go ahead and show him who's boss. So instead of getting a good package of players and picks that would have set the Sixers up not only for the present, but for the future, he traded for a James Harden who has never been able to deliver, who by the time he got to Philadelphia had lost a step. He was not the same player, and he gave up picks. You talking about hustling backwards? That is what Daryl Morey did. He hustled backwards. And the Sixers in the Game 7, where they needed those additional guys that could have helped, and they could have done things more at the trade deadline if they had additional picks, realistic picks, even if they were protected. And instead, they ended up with a guy that you knew was past what he could be. Not enough depth. And the things that have been the shortcomings since Embiid and the Sixers have gotten to the competitive portion of the whole trust the process nonsense. So, you know, why you're blaming everyone this morning? And again, there's multiple people to blame. I do believe that Doc Rivers is going to pay the price with his job. And with all the good coaches that are out there, whether it's a Nick Nurse, whether it's Coach Bud from Milwaukee, whether it's Monty Williams in Phoenix. I mean, if there's a time where Philadelphia could go ahead and move on from Doc Rivers and get another frontline coach, it is now. We get that. We get that Embiid came up as small in a game since I watched the 84 NBA Finals with Tragic Johnson. We get that too. But while we're doing all that, this was set up by Daryl Morey and his pettiness. And he shouldn't get a free pass because of it. It's Mark Swartz for MTC Media.